Y'all get ready?
Yes, you get ready.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovely Tea TV show, bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovely Tea TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
Now, I told y'all when I broke the Pooh Shiesty story, and it's funny now, I'm seeing a lot of people now talking about the CMG angle with Glorilla. But when I was breaking down the Pooh Shiesty story and I was reading the paperwork, I told y'all Gucci told. I told y'all that. I said Gucci snitched on him. And I don't care if you guys don't like the word snitch, that's the word I'm going to use. Gucci told. And like I said, he's a victim, not saying that he couldn't tell. But in that paperwork, it said he described what he had on. He told the people's Instagram, everything else, right? So then more paperwork came out, confirming, because people were saying, oh no, it's because the undercover officer that works with Gucci, that's who told. They had to report the crime. Then more receipts came out. And the FBI is flat out saying that Gucci Mane gave a statement to the police about the alleged robbery and kidnapping that Pooh Shiesty and 8 others had been charged with. So they're showing here, under oath, FBI agent Hansen testified and admitted that Gucci Mane gave a statement to the Dallas PD on January 10th of 2026, alleged kidnapping and robbery at Luminous Studios in far north Dallas. Pooh Shiesty would proceed to rest his head against the courtroom wall as his leg shakes while the attorney, Bradford Cohan, questioned the agent about Gucci Mane allegedly being pushed on the couch and guns pointed at him. Agent Hansen said Gucci Mane told his security, who were ex-Detroit police, were outgunned. Then Pooh Shiesty shakes his head in disbelief when the agent said that Gucci Mane told his security to put the gun down. So that is hard fact that Gucci snitched, right? Soon, and it was very interesting because that came out first. And literally a few hours later, Gucci dropped a diss track. I can't play it. I'm trying to play a little snippet.
Fresh diamond. And after all that, boy, you still signed to me? Wow. I'm like...
Okay, that's all I can play. You a crack dummy. And after all that, boy, you still signed to me. He basically told all the tea. He told all the tea. Okay? So a lot of people, it's a lot of debate. This is the meme. Somebody posted this in Discord. I was cracking up. But this meme is now going around of Gucci. Okay? Say Gucci out here telling. Like that black man. That meme of that black man that was on the phone a few years ago, getting ready to call the police. So a lot of people are divided about this. Okay? And I'm going to say this. I don't condone anything that Pooh Shiesty and, his homeboys and his father did. There's never a reason to put a gun to somebody's head, rob them at gunpoint. To do what they did was foul. But I don't like how all of a sudden the goalpost has been moved because it's Gucci. Okay? I know Lil Boosie said something. He didn't agree with it. I think Meek Mill shook his head. So a few rappers are kind of holding Gucci accountable. But not only did Gucci tell, then he also made a diss track telling as well. And you got all these folks saying, well, Gucci should have snitched, right? Who cares if he makes a diss track? Gucci's a grown man now. Gucci's almost 50. He's a husband and a father. My issue is this, right? A lot of y'all are comparing y'all's regular lives to Gucci. Okay? I've said this time and time again on my channel. Y'all can put a tick if y'all remember me saying this. I don't involve myself in criminality. I don't have mugshots and all that dumb shit. Because if I'm doing some criminal shit and we're all doing criminal shit together, I'ma tell. If I get caught up, I'ma tell. Because I'm not doing 5, 10, 15 years. Okay? I'm not going to nobody's fucking jail or prison. So if we get caught up in some shit, I'm telling. So because I know that I would tell, I don't involve myself in criminality. You get what I'm saying? I stay on the straight and fucking narrow. And I'm okay with that. I know it's the cool thing to have mugshots and shit. I don't want no mugshots. Let's make that be cool. Okay? Not judging. I'm just saying. I'm not about to be, you can't shame me for not having a fucking mugshot. But the thing that irritates me with this situation is a lot of people are comparing themselves to Gucci. Gucci is a man who perpetuated this lifestyle for years. 4 years, this grown man, okay, perpetuated the no snitching culture, perpetuated the fact that he had killed somebody, did all this prison time. And guess who looked up to Gucci? Young men like Pooh Shiesty and so many others looked up to him. They lived by that street code. Okay? So it's very funny that for years he could perpetuate the no snitching and you do your dirt in the street and all this other stuff. But the second he becomes a victim, now all of a sudden he himself is not living by the same code that he perpetuated. And what I don't like is that all of a sudden the internet has moved the goalposts for Gucci. But let's have a real conversation, okay? Because my issue is this. Gucci has helped to create the environment where all these young men turned into wolves. Okay? He helped to create this environment. He put these young people in a situation. Let's keep it real about this whole 1017 label, because I didn't get to really go in deep on the first video. Let's stop calling this shit a label. This is nothing more than a Ponzi scheme. This is a MLM. Name me one person from that label who's really made money, successful or not, on, commercially, who's made money, who's been able to eat how Gucci has eaten. He's another Diddy. And the thing that's so frustrating to me watching all this play out is that we have seen Gucci, Diddy, and so many of these guys get into positions, right? They were abused by the industry. They were taken advantage of. They were given bad contracts. And then instead of them saying, you know what, I learned from that. I don't want that. I don't want that to happen to somebody else. They then turn around and be the same perpetuators of the bullshit they ran to escape from. Make it make sense. Look how many black people Diddy screwed over with horrible contracts. Even when Mace tried to buy himself out of the contract, he said he went to Diddy and said, I can give you like $3 million or something like that. Diddy told him, the Jewish man is willing to give me $50 million for your recordings, for your publishing. But this is the same man preaching black excellence. Remember when we all sat there and we watched the movie back in the day, the New Edition movie? Who remembers that? In the New Edition movie, we watched how they went and had this horrible contract, how they were mismanaged, they were broke, and then what happened at the end of the movie? Who remembers? They end up signing Boys to Men and giving them the same horrible fucking contract, and then what they say, well, this is just how it is in the industry. Why do we do that? If Gucci Man was a white owner or a Jewish owner of a label doing that, everybody would be calling out racism, saying, all types of derogatory Jewish slurs and stuff. But when it's a black person doing it to other black people, y'all got all these excuses. I'm not saying what happened to Gucci was right. I'm not saying that. Because what they did was wrong. But he created that environment. Imagine if he was just fair. From what I'm hearing, they're saying that Pooh Shiesty's mom said that Gucci Man made $20-something million off of Pooh Shiesty over the past few years, off of his music and everything. And so when Pooh Shiesty got out, he thought, Gucci put a little something to the side for him. Of course, he didn't expect to get 20-something million, but even if you give me, $2 million, something, you've been making money off of me while I've been in jail. He told me he ain't had no money for him. And that he was still in the contract. So many artists are now coming out and saying how Gucci did them. And all these artists, they're all young artists that he used and spit them out. And now it's all good that he's telling, and he's a businessman, and he's a husband. But ask yourself, why did he have to go that route just to make it? Why is it that for years, him and other rappers, Gucci's not alone, They perpetuate the worst of the community. They promote the drug use, the multiple baby mamas, killing other black men. Y'all know the fuckboy handbook that I always talk about, that the rappers all, they all read from the same fuckboy handbook. It's funny that's how all these rappers make their M's, is by pushing out stereotypes, perpetuating violence and everything else. And these young boys see that, they feed into it, and they think that's the way to go. Then once these same rappers have made all this money, now they're woke. Now they're businessmen. Now they're husbands. Now they're fathers. But the destructive seeds that they planted are coming home to roost. This is no different. Yeah, thank you, Sierra. Birdman as well, another thief. Look at Nicki, struggling. All the antics she's doing now, having to be Maga Minaj, is because of her bad contract with Birdman and Young Money, Cash Money. Bad contracts. And then she thought she could do the same thing to Ice Spice, and Ice Spice told her ass, bitch, not on my watch. I'm not signing to you. And that's why her and Ice Spice got the beefing. Okay? These folks try and do the same thing that was done to them onto other artists. And it's insane. It really is. Jay Prince is another one. Mob ties. Got finessed 2 times out here crying and some more shit. So like I said earlier, why is it that that's the lifestyle they have to perpetuate and show to get their M's? And then once they get their M's, there's no consequences for all this shit that they done spewed over the years. Now they just get to be businessmen and walk away and be family men? How does that work? Because you notice when women do the same thing, right? So let's take the rappers out of it. A lot of these females did the same thing. Black China, Amber Rose, all these, IG influencers, the whole bad bitch era, them, doing all the club appearances, and, Brittany Renner, fucking player to player, basketball player, just being, doing hood rat shit. Promoting OnlyFans, trying to perpetuate it to young girls. Sign up under my code. Knowing that only 0.1% of OnlyFans people are top earners. The average person who does not have a following, I don't care how pretty you are, how nice your body is, if you don't have some type of following, you're starting to OnlyFans, you're not making $1 million in a year. That is the 0.1%. But they perpetuate it like they are. They have OnlyFans MLM. A lot of these influencers were promoting that to these young girls. Sign up under my code, sign up under me. And then because you're under me, that will bring you fans, and that will bring you, looks and everything else. But no, all that did was put money in their pocket because they're at the top of the pyramid. And these young girls down here are exploited. Now we done seen everything that God gave you. You're not making no money on OnlyFans, and now you want to go back to working a 9-to-5. But then your coworkers get to Googling you, and they find your coochie on OnlyFans, and the job is saying, well, we don't want that type of smoke. You're fired. There's tons of stories like this on TikTok. So again, when the females do this and they try to rebrand, they definitely get demonized. We saw Brittany Renner go from, being ran through, bragging about it. Then she was a red pillar. Then she went from red pilling everybody to being a Muslim. We saw Black China do all her whole shit. Then she turned around and, became a reborn Christian. We saw Amber Rose do all her whole shit. She aged out, got old, and now all of a sudden she's MAGA. These are all just rebrand. All Gucci did was just rebrand himself. And I just find it very interesting that now the goalpost has moved. It's one thing for him to tell what happened in the police report, but now you're coming out with a diss track? Like, really? You're coming out with a diss track, basically telling everything that happened. So now you're putting snitching on wax. But this is the same culture that you helped to perpetuate. And you know how many young men went to prison and took charges because they didn't want to be seen as a snitch? That's why I tell you all the time, y'all need to stop following these entertainers. They are here to simply entertain. They are playing a character. That is not how real people move. When you are victimized, most people who are victims go to the police and they file a report. But they want you to believe that they would never tell. That's a lie. And I said that in my first video when I was breaking it down. When people were like, no, he would never, that's Gucci, he would never tell. He told. I didn't need the FBI to come out. I could tell by reading the report, Gucci told. And my thing is why everybody keeps screaming, he's a father and, he's married and everything. Wouldn't that be the more reason to treat young people right? Because you are a father, because you are married, because you know how the dirty industry is? Wouldn't that be a reason why you would treat young people better? So let's go ahead and watch what some of these people from 1017 have been saying about Gucci. Yeah, Jay-Z's another one. Y'all can name all the people. There's a lot of them. Somebody put the Jay-Z, y'all put the Jay-Z emoji in there. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Jay-Z talking about, I've never done nothing to nobody. I'm just an ethical billionaire. Okay, Jay. Meanwhile, nobody has really eaten off of Rock Nation outside of you. Beans, Memphis Bleak. Jay-Z's been the most successful. And I need young people to understand, stop signing under people who are artists. It's an ego thing. I remember there was a lady in I'm not even gonna say the city, but she was running like a little modeling thing. And, she'd been in the industry for a while. And so, she would have these modeling competitions and, she's trying to scout new models. And it seemed like a good thing initially where, okay, this is somebody who's in the industry. She wants to help out, this and that. Then we find out not only is she still booking jobs with this agency, she has her child signed to the agency, but then you're sitting here signing other people's children underneath you. And so when I clocked it, I'm like, she's running a pyramid scheme. You can't, if you're in something, you can't then say that you're going to manage somebody else because I'm your competition. How are you going to manage me as a model manager, bitch, and you're modeling too? If we get a job and they're saying that they're looking for a woman that looks this way between the height, this size, and me and you are the same size and build, I have to trust that you're going to submit me for the job when me and you look just alike. When they're saying that they're looking for children who are this height, skin tone, complexion, whatever, and your child matches that, you want me to believe that you're going to submit my child before your child? People run this game all the time. You cannot sign to people who still want to be famous, who still want to be in that industry. Never sign to another rapper because it's an ego thing. They're never going to let their signee be bigger than them. It's an ego thing. That's what, what's his name? Young Dro said about T.I. Because Young Dro at one point was signed to T.I. And he said that that's what kind of made them fall off is he felt like T.I. felt away because he was, his raps were a little bit better and, T.I. didn't want to see him outshining him. Can't outshine the master. 36 laws of power. Or 58 laws, of power. So, yeah. Yep, Arab and Soulja Boy. I remember that back in the day. Yeah, you can't. And I think that's the biggest problem is that these rappers have turned this whole signing, this label thing. It's just another, pyramid scheme. It's a pyramid scheme of hopes and dreams. It really is. And I think that's what needs to be called. I think to me, the whole snitching thing, yeah, that's one thing. But I think we need to have a deeper conversation on why these artists get into a position, get comfortable, and then they want to perpetuate the same bullshit. Just like with Drake. Remember, Drake tried to do that to The Weeknd. That's why The Weeknd didn't sign with him, and Drake was pissed. And The Weeknd is doing good. You cannot sign to somebody who still wants fame. Yes, Kanye with good music. Kanye's a narcissist. You think he's really going to push Pusha T? And Pusha T is a lyricist out this world. Tiana Taylor, he did nothing with Tiana Taylor. It's like these people just sign you to 48 lives. I knew it was one. I knew it ended with an 8. I'm like either 38 or 58. 48 lives. Thank you. Appreciate you, Zoforio. I feel like a lot of these people will sign folks to dim their light. If you're not going to do nothing with these people, why are you signing them? It's almost like they see a light in them. It's like, oh no, I can't, let them be higher than me. Chloe and Haley. Weren't they signed to Beyonce? They're never going to be bigger than the queen. Yeah, that's why JTV. That's why Young Dolph didn't want to sign a Yo Gotti. It doesn't make sense. So I think that's the bigger conversation. So let me go ahead and, hold on. We're going to watch some of these artists talk about Gucci and how he did them. Because it's not just Pooh Shiesty. There was artists calling Gucci out 9 years ago. You can't name me nobody from 1017 who has been successful, who's been able to eat,
I'll be mad too if a motherfucker won't let me out my contract. I'm in a situation right now where I want to hit a Pooh Shiesty on a motherfucker. Y'all painting a picture out to make it seem like everybody just like it's a curse with Gucci. There ain't no curse with Gucci. Everybody chose their own fate when it came to 1017. And I'm speaking for everybody because I don't have nobody here to speak for themselves. And 2 of my goddamn label mates is gone. Chant gone. Scar gone. I don't even know where the fuck Roboy at. Y'all got so many opinions, but y'all don't even know that Fujiano and Pooh Shiesty and Scar was beefing with Gucci the entire time. It was the back and forth of who leaving the label and who want to stay and come back and give me your chain, or no, you can have your chain. Like, it was a lot of that shit going on. Why? It ain't even about reading your contract. It's not about none of that shit. It's not about none of that shit. At the end of the day, everybody wanted respect. That's why Channing left. She didn't like what was going on. There was really no team with 1017 to where we had people that was really there, that was guiding us. It was just like all the calls was coming from everybody that they was putting in charge. And a lot of people that was in charge shouldn't have been in charge over there at Atlantic. And that's the real issue.
Okay, so let me also pull up this other clip here. So remember, Hernandez Govan was saying this in that video, that Gucci came to Memphis and signed all of these Memphis rappers, right? So all these hungry kids from the hood who just want a chance, you know, Gucci's a major star. He went and he signed all these folks and kept them over there for a few years and literally did nothing with them, and then took to social media and said he was letting them all go, except for Pooh and Foo. So let's go ahead and watch that video.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Listen, I wanted to make this announcement on 1017 yesterday, but I just seen like my statement, my P&L with all my artists. You know, it's almost like a whole bunch of shake-up and it's a whole shit show in the industry right now. But when I'm looking at my P&L and me being a businessman, I think that I'm gonna have to release almost all my artists except for Pooh Shiesty and Fujiano. This is a decision I didn't want to make. I thought about it, you know what I'm saying? I could keep all of them under the contract. But I said, hey, fuck it. Let's just make the unselfish decision and, let them take their talents elsewhere. So today, you know what I'm saying, I already reached out to all of my artists, you know what I'm saying, to their lawyers and whatever, and let them know that they're free to take their talents elsewhere. And I'm still looking for new talent to pair up with, you know what I'm saying, Pooh and Foo, and that's where I'm gonna put my focus, and I just wish them the best, and I just want to let everybody.
Imagine looking for new blood. Okay, this is what vampires do. This industry is very vampiric. They're energy vampires. Imagine you done sucked all these kids' energy, their spirit, sucked them dry, probably took their lyrics, all, just everything you took from these kids, you're spitting them out. Then you got the nerve to say that you're looking for new talent. You didn't do nothing with this last group of talent. So let's go ahead and watch some more videos. So this is another young man who's going to speak on his artist, Roboy. So he talks about things that Gucci did to him on the label.
Let me tell y'all some shit that happened before, right? So we at the studio, we in the A. We at QC Studio. So it's Baby, Bankroll, Freddie, QCP, Quay, cut that shit up, Quay. We all in the studio with Walk, right? So I just made some hard ass shit. Feel me? I make a hard ass song. So we in this Bankroll Freddie been trying to get on the song the whole time. Walk wouldn't let him. I'm still trying to figure out, like, damn, why you gonna let it? Like, this gonna boost my career. So Baby vibing to the song, like, Baby, like, damn, like, who the fuck this is? Man, don't you know this nigga Walk get up from the back of the studio, jump, run to the front, turn my music off and put on Shiesty, bro. Like, turn on the Shiesty song. I'm like, whoa, like, what the fuck? Like, cuz, like, this could have been like a life-changing feature. He did that shit. And now that same nigga robbed this bitch ass. Let me tell y'all some shit that happened before, right?
So, you see how they play these games? He's in there with Bankroll Freddie and a bunch of other big artists. They're liking his music. And instead of Gucci trying to connect them, because again, you're the manager, you're in charge of the label, instead of making a connection and letting them do a feature together, he turns around and basically disrupts the energy, disrupts the fact that they're giving him props and say that they like him, they like his music, and runs to go play Pooh Shiesty's music to divert energy away from this young man. And so then what ends up happening is that it ends up building resentment and animosity with the artist. Now this artist feels a way about that artist because the label head, they're playing favorites. They're pushing you versus pushing you. And it's all mental manipulation. Remember, Diddy did the same thing. I'm making the band. Oh, I like Andrea. Oh, what's her name? I'm trying to think. Dawn is better. You know, they did all those little games playing them girls against each other. Gucci was doing the same thing. Looks like here's a fan who says she's disappointed.
I was one of the people that's been in the denial river about all this shit. Like, I didn't want to believe the man was snitching. But my flabber has been gasted. This man done put a fucking statement on a beat. Like, yo, what the hell? Like, what the fuck? I can't even think of a word that I'm feeling right now. Like, this shit is beyond me. Then, like, this is the man that was smoking on Pookalode and all, like, this was a Pookalode smoker. Now he's a tattletale? And he done took tattletale into the next level, like, yeah, I'm shaking, like, yeah, snitch, bitch, and I'll do it again. Walk, like, that's all I heard. Like, you cut me deep, Shrek. You cut me real deep.
So, like I said, the conversation is conversating. Oh, yeah, let me get to Asian Doll. Because Asian Doll says some real stuff. Let me show y'all what Asian Doll had to say. Like I said, we're gonna go a little bit deeper on this Gucci Man situation. All right, so Asian Doll says, anybody that's ever signed to 1017 have to get everything on their own. Nobody gets shit from that label. They take, they don't give you, and that's facts. If you become a millionaire, you did that shit on your own. Once you succeed, they come in to collect. Facts. They sign kids from poor ghettos that's active in the streets. That's why. Oh, somebody asked, so why is everyone and their mama keep going? And she says they sign kids from poor ghettos that's active in the streets. That's why. Then she says, if you ain't never been signed to a label or been to 1017, shut the F up 100. All y'all niggas sound like straight dick eaters. She said a nigga ain't never dropped me from no label, I think she said that, from no show. I don't know. It's blurred out. I had to fight to get out my deal. Did not want to let me go. I was the first female of 1017. Facts. First female ever signed to him. And I was 19 years old. It was the worst decision I ever made in life. All them other bitches after me was signed out of spite and they know it. So that's what Asian Doll is saying. Because people forget that she was signed to Gucci Man. And she didn't drop anything. She wasn't pushed like that. So the whole situation is nuts. And then to put it on the beat is it's crazy. Uh-oh, 6ix9ine has something to say. Looks like 6ix9ine just reacted 2 hours ago. Hopefully he ain't got no music. 6ix9ine is just... Let's see what 6ix9ine has to say. This just dropped.
Alright, so now y'all believe me? I've been literally saying this shit for 5 years. I'm about to break it down for you. No, it's different. Now it's moving the goalpost. No, it's different. He's a businessman. Let me break this shit down, nigga. Exhibit A.
So, nigga, I have no shit gonna buy. I never want to stay below it, and I never will.
A word?
I'm a true G.
A true G. What? Exhibit B, nigga. Exhibit B, nigga.
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell nobody, not even the police. I don't believe in none of that shit.
Oh, you don't believe that?
The only thing I believe in is don't tell the police.
That shit ain't age well at all.
You don't believe in that shit, nigga? Listen, I'm gonna break this shit down. Listen to me. Oh, no, it's different. No, it's different. Nigga, I won't tell the police. Hear this shit. This your mouth, nigga.
What?
Okay, I can't play the music. He's so loud. Okay, let's see what else he has to say. Now, am I tripping? Like, what? Like, did he get more tattoos? What's up with all these guys going to prison and coming out with even more tattoos? He looks swollen. His face just looks bloated. He has all these weird tattoos on him. His nose ring is too big for his nose. What is going on with 6ix9ine? Child. Okay, let's continue, child.
Pulled up. No, they didn't pull up no weak shit. They pulled up on street shit, nigga. Shit that you rap, nigga.
Yeah.
Nigga had big plans for Pooh Shiesty.
Hold on.
Please stop I don't need the soundtrack, buddy.
I put you on your commissary. Oh, I did this. Y'all stabbed me in the back. Yo, what happened? Remember 6ix9ine situation? Y'all remember the 6ix9ine situation? When y'all say, nigga, it's the streets. You know what you signed up for? You know what you signed up for, nigga? What happened? It's you. Nigga, they pulled up on some... Nigga, give me everything, nigga. I want everything, nigga. Take this shit out your fucking ears, nigga. Give me this shit, nigga. Oh, this your wedding ring, nigga? Let me get that shit. They pulled up on street shit, nigga. Now you a businessman? How many excuses?
Okay, objection. I mean, get your mouth out the camera. I feel like he's spitting on me. I'm like, I feel like I need an umbrella. Oh my gosh. Just back up a little bit. We can hear you, bro. We don't need you spitting in the camera. Shit. What in the suffering succotash is going on here? It sounds like Donald Duck. Ugh.
Excuses. How many times? No, it's different. No, you know what's the difference? Look at this. All these things that talk been saying this shit for 5 fucking years. Hold on. Y'all gotta see this shit. What's the difference between all these rat-ass niggas? Y'all tell me what's the difference.
They know the difference.
I've been saying this shit.
Nigga say he had,
fuck y'all niggas talking about,
nigga say he had big plans for Pooh Shiesty when he come
got
home.
big plans for Pooh Shiesty when he get home? No, that nigga had big plans for you. Nigga, fuck is you talking about, nigga?
They said, yo, why you tripping? Why you always go so hard, nigga?
Why I go hard, nigga?
What the fuck you talking
Cause
about?
y'all trying to take money out my family's fucking mouth, nigga. Money out my fucking family's mouth. I must eat. Nigga, I must eat, nigga. I must eat, nigga.
What the fuck is they talking about?
What the fuck is you talking about? Let me get this shit real quick. See if I can do this shit real quick. Let me read this shit for you. This is God.
Is anybody else scared? I thought he was about to punch the camera. I'm over here like... Oh my God. 6ix9ine is crazy as hell. Whew. Let me catch my breath. He got me nervous. All right, let's continue, y'all. Good God.
All who rage against you will surely be ashamed and disgrace those who oppose you. Bitch ass nigga. Though you search for your enemies, you will not find them, nigga, you bitch ass nigga. Those who wage war against you will be nothing at all, for I am your Lord, your God, nigga.
Yeah, nigga.
That is the angriest prayer I've ever heard. What the? Oh my God. 6ix9ine really had me scared over here jumping. That man is crazy, but did he lie? Shit. Did he lie? Okay. You know, again, he got a lot of flack when he told. And now we're seeing, you know, a lot of these rappers, you know, who are so street telling, you know, from the whole Gunna Wonder situation, you know, Young Thug, you know, running his mouth all on the phone, telling everybody business, you know, Woody snitching. So it's a lot. Somebody said clean up on aisle 9. Oh my gosh, that was too much. I didn't expect him to go like that. He was not playing. He's going off. He's funny. Y'all put me on to him. He's kind of funny. Let's see what he got to say real quick, y'all.
Anyway, man, what's up with Gucci Mane, man? Hey, Gucci Walk, man. I ain't finna lie, bro. I ain't finna lie, bro. I ain't finna sit here and lie, bro. I'm hurt about this. I'm good about this. I'm realized about this.
I think he's hurt because the other day he was defending Gucci so hard. He's like, oh no, Gucci would never snitch. He had an undercover cop there. The undercover cop had to tell. And I'm like, bruh, it's in the paperwork. He did tell. You know what I'm saying? But I guess he's finally coming to the realization that his hero snitched.
Realize just the whole culture up. You realize hurt my feelings, fool. You realize hurt my feelings, fool. You a grown-ass man, bro. And you got a whole lot of money. What the f you worry about a chain and a ring and shit for? I know why Shiesty robbed you. If he did. Because he didn't think you were going to tell on him, fool. He thought you was street like I did. He didn't think you were going to put the police on him, fool. You a green ass nigga, Wop. You a green ass nigga, fool. You a green ass nigga, fool. That shit green as hell, fool. And he a young nigga. I ain't on no old Memphis, Atlanta shit. I ain't on no old... I fuck with, nah, bro, I'm moving strictly on morals and principles right now, bro. That's a young nigga, bro. That young nigga 24, 25, bro. I understand your pride and your ego might get in the way, but you as a 40-year-old man, bro, I'm 34. I'll be 34 in June. I understand 23 and 24 and 25-year-old. I done gained a whole lot of patience for them young niggas. Because I was once that young nigga. You was once that young nigga. What? Then no nigga put the police on your ass, bitch ass. Then no nigga tell on you, soft ass. You doing that? Oh, I was robbing down on Campbellton. Then nobody tell on you, ass nigga. The f you telling that young nigga for, fool? Man, young nigga ain't number 24, 25 years old. That young nigga don't know no better for real. All he know is the slime shit. All he know that what he was raised on. He don't know no better. He throw it off. Why you ain't just help him? Why you ain't just talk to him? Why you ain't just something? Word in the streets is, man, you ain't had nothing on Star funeral. You ain't with Scar. You weren't there for Scar when that shit went down. You dead wrong, what? And then here you come with your security and your cameraman ready to make some money off me. I would have robbed your ass too. See, that's a whole different ball game. Now I see. Because I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't setting nothing up like that. But if I was to get around a nigga that did me like that, I wouldn't be able to hold my composure too long. I'm sorry, I whipped that fire out. I'm sorry, that fire coming out. I'm my fire stick activated. Man, that ass you did with my cousin, homie. I ain't gonna lie, I can't sit here and act like it's cool, man. My folks, man, couldn't pay for the funeral. Man, you barge your in here acting like, man, tell me something make me feel right, man. Do me something make me feel better, man. I ain't gonna lie, my boy. I be mad no motherfucker too if all that young he made all this motherfucking money, he ain't take care of my cousin. This shit still built on loyalty now. I don't give a how inexperienced I am. If I'm still moving off loyalty, I'm still moving off loyalty, even if I don't know no better.
But no, did he lie? Again, just like with 6ix9ine, they didn't lie. They're very disappointed in Gucci because, again, like he said, Gucci, you was down here robbing folks. You was doing all types of dirt. Nobody snitched on you. Now you're putting it to a song. As far as the funeral, I'll say this. When Scar died, I felt it was some entitlement going on with the family. I know at first they were upset because they had to take it to the internet because it's like Gucci didn't even offer to pay for the funeral or help out. So they took it to the internet. Gucci dropped $10,000. Then they said another rapper dropped 10, so it was $20,000. But the sister was saying $10,000 wasn't enough. Well, I mean, that seems like more than enough for a decent funeral. Like, I get it, you know, he was a rapper and stuff like that. But people are acting like Gucci had something to do with his death. He overdosed. It wasn't like he was riding on with Gucci and, you know, a drive-by happened. So I don't really get the whole blaming him for the Scar situation because they did send money. But I do feel like him wanting the chain back, that's really what was a slap in the face. I do agree that he shouldn't have asked for the chain back, but he asked for the chain back with all of those artists that he dropped from 1017. All the Memphis artists, he wanted all of their chains back. Which to me is like, if you're going to give something to somebody, then it's a gift. You can't then say, I need my chain back. That's insane. That was a gift for them joining your label. You know, so the whole situation is just, I don't know. This whole label is just not a good thing at all. I feel like there was a lot of animosity there from Pooh Shiesty because the situation with his cousin Scar, and that's his blood cousin. the funeral situation, then, you know, Gucci wanting the chain back. And then on top of that, Pooh Shiesty had been in jail for like the past, 3 years. And it's like, I come out and you don't have no money for me, but you want me to get back in the studio. Right. There was no life insurance policy or anything. You know, if he wanted to help, that's cool, but he didn't owe him to help for the funeral. But they did end up helping. But the family was kind of like really going off. And I think they felt like they should have gotten more money just because of, you know, the brother was signed to 1017. But it's like, you know, hell, Pooh Shiesty didn't really get no money out for the whole Gucci band situation. Gucci made money. So, yeah, a lot of folks are just like really, really upset about this. And like I said, was Gucci a victim? Absolutely. And, you know, I get the whole, you know, Pooh Shiesty's young. He's 23. That's all he's ever known. All that aside, there's consequences for your actions. Like I always say, for every action, there's a reaction. Young or not, if you're out here committing crimes, you got to know, especially when you're already on parole, you have an ankle monitor bracelet on. Like, his moves were just foolish. I get feeling away. I get being upset. But he would have been better off getting a lawyer and trying to fight himself out of the contract than crashing out in the way that he did. And I feel like that's where his father failed him. Because people were saying, well, the father had to go along because, you know, Pooh Shiesty's the man of the house. He's the one making the money. So he was there. No, at the end of the day, I don't care how much money my child makes. I'm the parent. And I'm not going to assist my child and assist him putting himself in a worse situation. That is your job as a parent. I don't give a damn how old that child gets. Is to guide your child in a way that's going to, you know what I'm saying, be conducive to his well-being. You don't sit there and go with your child to a robbery. That is insane. That should have been shut down. If he wanted to do that, at that point, he should have sent somebody. But you're on probation. You have an ankle monitor on. They know where you're at. But I get it. When you're dealing with street folks and they're just thinking, you know, from the ways of the streets, they don't care. He's thinking, you know, fuck this ankle monitor. I can rob Gucci and he'll cover for me. Well, he found out fat meat is greasy. Gucci is not the same Gucci. He's a father and a civilian now all of a sudden. But he made sure not to announce it, you know, that he was a civilian and that he wasn't about that life. Because per his music and per the shit he was saying on social media, he was acting like he was still from the streets. And so Pooh thought Gucci would never tell on him. He would just take it on the chin. Nah, that's just not how it works. So I'm not going to make excuses for Pooh Shiesty just because he's young. No, he chose to crash out, and he crashed out in the most foolish way. So he's going to get consequences, unfortunately, for him crashing out. But I'm also going to hold Gucci accountable because Gucci helped to create this environment to where people feel like they got to run up on him and rob him. He created this environment. Even long before Asian Doll was signed to him, he had a few other artists signed to him that were calling him out 9 years ago about shady deals, shady practices. So y'all got to start holding these, you know, label bosses and these rappers who want to start labels. Y'all got to start holding them accountable. Y'all can't just be like, oh, he's a father and he's married. Oh, well, nah, fuck that. We're going to go a little bit deep over here. Because there's a lot of people who are fathers and who are married, but they still treat people with respect. They still treat people in the same manner that they want to be treated. You don't do folks wrong. Imagine if he was just fair. Same thing I said with Diddy. Imagine if these people, you've made millions of dollars. You can't take none of it to the grave with you. You're comfortable. Imagine if people just paid people fairly. You wouldn't have all this contention. Right now, there's a story that's going viral about a man who burnt down a warehouse. And he did it because he's upset about the pay. Yeah, this is all over the news. He filmed himself doing it. Oh, it looks like he's been caught. See, I'm going to show you. People are tired. And again, I'm not trying to make excuses for Pooh Shiesty because what Pooh Shiesty did was wrong. But people need to understand we are living in different times. And people are going to be making reckless decisions based off of how they feel like you're treating them. So you got to watch out how you treat folks because it can come right back on you.
If you want the latest news in the streets, join us and tune in for the tea. Breaking news with integrity. So tell your friends and your family. It's the Lovely Tea TV show. Bringing you good tea and good vibes. It's the Lovely Tea TV show. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe.